gonna give it some time for people to show up. Let's see. Any live chat right now? No. If y'all are in here watching, say something. Pretty much today we're just gonna be chilling. I'm here to answer any questions that you have. And we'll just be hanging out, talking 13 music. Wish I could see who's in here right now. Doesn't do anything. Auntie Erin says, "What's up, dude? What's up to you as well, man?" Let's see. It's got one person in here chilling, and I'm sure more will come soon. I know that a couple people reached out and said that they will try to be here if I'm still running by the time they would be ready to be here. I might actually just play some guitar, since I don't want this stream to be, totally boring or nothing. Okay, 3 people. Nice. Dog Frilla says, "What's up, man?" Not much. Just here to chill, talk music. What y'all been listening to out there? Grivachilla is here. What's up, friend? Lately, I've been listening to the new Bring the Horizon album that just came out, Post-Human Next Gen, and it's really, really good. It brought me back to the old school days of mid 2000s emo music, screamo music, stuff that I was really, really into in high school. And it was a really, really good album. They brought in Under Oath for a song, and their feature was fucking incredible. It sounded like old school, like Chasing Safety, Define the Great Line era Under Oath. It sounded like their classics. But what's awesome is, so Bring Me got into some controversy in the lead up to this album because they made a post promoting it, and that post said, "If Jesus Christ returns, we'll just kill that fucker twice." That's what they said in that promotional post, and people were pissed the fuck off because I guess they just hadn't been paying that much attention and didn't realize that Bring Me the Horizon was never really like a Christian band. I don't know where anyone got that idea from, that they were like remotely Christian. But so they had that lyric in a song. That's what they were using to do that promotion. And what we didn't realize was that the part of the album where those lyrics come in is during Under Oath's feature. So one of the most important Christian bands of the 2000s came up to bat for this Bring Me the Horizon song feature and got up there saying, "If Jesus Christ returns, we'll kill that fucker twice." That's incredible. Like, if you had told me back when I was a teenager that would happen, that Bring the Horizon would end up featuring Under Oath to say some incredibly blasphemous shit, that would be, I wouldn't believe you. But yeah, it was awesome. Grivachilla says, "What's you think about the new single by Mushroomhead?" Okay, so I think I saw there's a music video that dropped and it was pretty good. And there's another song that didn't have a music video that I haven't heard yet. And just based off the one song, I think it sounds really good. I'm just confused about who's in the band now. Because I see Gravy has come back. In between the last album and this next one that they're doing, I noticed that Jackie LaPonza didn't like go on tour with them when I saw them with Static X and Fear Factory. Um, so they weren't really playing any of the songs that featured her, but she's still in the band apparently because she's in this newest music video. And like that's cool, but you know, J-Man never returned from his hiatus, and now his fill-in guy has taken over his spot. And I could not tell if Rockhorst was in this video. He's the replacement for Jeffrey Nothing back on the last album. And yeah, I think it's great. I think it's awesome that Mushroomhead is still doing shit. I just can't tell who's in the band. You know, they have this revolving door of band members, and some old ones come back, and some new ones leave and come back, and like this is the second time J-Man has left the band. So who knows? Mushroomhead is one of those bands that's, you know, as closely as I've been following them, they're like a complete mystery to me sometimes. But they're awesome and they're great live. And their new music is really good. Bluntula says, "Hi Zeke, been a big fan of yours for a while, and your music really helps me through this life, and I wanted to tell you I remade your mask in my style to use it at a haunted house I work at." So that's awesome. Send me pictures of that because I love seeing when people take my art and make a version of it of their own. I would love to see what yours looks like. Double checking that my phone's fucking charging. Hold on. It like doesn't want to. There we go. Alright. Yeah, so awesome that you have a version of my mask to use in your haunted house. I would love for you to send it to me, show it to me. I would love to see it. Alright. Zero says, was just about to say that, just revolving door members. Yeah, totally. But I love Mushroomhead, and I liked pretty much every member of the band that has like come in, gone out, you know. They never like brought the experience down for me. The only time I can think of where it was anything like that was maybe like around the Righteous and the Butterfly album. They had just so many band members. They had 3 vocalists, and at times it felt like there were too many cooks in the kitchen. That was also the first album of theirs to feature Jackie LaPonza before she was officially in the band. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting album for sure. That's just the only time where I can think of where it was like, maybe there's too much going on here. Yeah. Anyway, let's see who we got. Blood Shield says it's kind of the same, but I don't have 13 on my eyes. Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you wanted to, I don't have a problem with it. Just, you know, if you're gonna be me for a haunted house, like, be me. But if you're gonna be a version of me that's like your interpretation, I'm cool with that too. Like, I just want to see it. I like art. Art is awesome. And I like seeing everyone's version of my art. Demon of Me says, "Hi Zeke, ooh." Oh, so that's Chaz. What's up? Good to see you. I'm glad you're chilling with us today. Omnium Shadow 24 says, "Somehow didn't get a notification." Yeah, this was kind of thrown together a little bit haphazardly at the last minute. I'm struggling to get the album done with the time allotted to me, and I was definitely struggling to figure out a piece of content for you today, but I know I haven't done a stream since the lore stream, and I figured with all this time that has passed, y'all have had time to like digest the things that I said in that video. If y'all had any questions about it, this is the time and the place. Jesus Christ, this fucking charger doesn't want to work. There it goes. Fareed says, "Hey Zeke, what's up?" What's up, man? Fareed Perez, he's a homie. He runs a fan page of 13 on Facebook. So if you are obsessed with this band like I am and like he is, like go check out his page. I think it's called 13 Fans or like 13 on Metal Fans. Um, don't quote me on that, but Freed says, "How is the new album going? I completely love the two singles." Yeah, it's going really well. It's a very diverse sounding album as far as like the types of heavy music that I'm employing. I'm using the 8-string guitar, and that's been an experience for sure. It's been really different. It's been like having to relearn the instrument. It's crazy. It's just an additional string from what I'm used to, but somehow it makes all the difference. My mask keeps fucking slipping. I need to fix it. Um, is it Zero says, is it all you on this upcoming album? Drums, guitar, bass, vocals. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much how it goes for every album. I program the drums, I record the bass and the guitar. I use plugins to simulate my amp tones and my drum samples and all that. Um, and then it's all my vocals, unless otherwise stated, because sometimes I get guests to appear, which is a lot of fun. I love doing music projects with my friends, um, and all of the features have been with people who I very much wanted to work with. Um, let's see, this album here that's playing on Creepshow, I did that feature on the song Syndrome with my good buddy Ben Von Weber from the band Deprivation in Australia. He's a longtime friend of mine. I went on tour with him years ago in another band and went through some crazy life event that he was present for, and glad I got to share that experience. Well, that part of the experience sucked, but the whole experience all around, I'm glad we got to spend with them. Um, let's see. Zogfrilla says, "We miss you, bro. If you need any computer equipment, let us know." Okay, so what kind of computer equipment are we talking? Like are y'all building a PC, or maybe we can talk something out and figure out something, because I might be in the market for stuff. I don't have the biggest budget right now. I am working on that, but it's been tough. Been trying to pull ourselves out of the financial hole we ended up in out in Texas. Came out to St. Louis, Missouri, and it has been tough. We're trying to pay off our debts, we're trying to save some money, but like we had to go on some like a family trip, and we've got another one coming at the end of the year, and so it's been setback after setback, but we're hoping next year is going to be a lot quieter so that we don't have to do as much and travel as much and spend all the money that we worked hard making. Let's see. Bluntila says, "What's the original you used into yours, if you know?" The original I used into... What did you ask me last time? What was it? Okay, I see. You're talking about... Oh, the mask. Okay. Yeah, no worries. The original mask that I used, those plain white, like, Jabberwockies masks, the party masks that you can just get at, like, Party City. They're super easy to find. I got a couple of those. I cut the top half off of this one and the bottom half off of this one. I took a lighter and I burnt the edges till they were, like, this kind of, like, fucked up, like, burnt black coloration on both sides. And then I used some elastic thread for the sutures. I took a knife and I cut the scars and I sutured them back up, and I used red Sharpie or whatever to make them look more scar-like. And I think the inside of the mask is covered in cotton pads and flex tape. I used to watch a lot of JonTron hella years ago, and the flex tape video was always like a classic to me, and so I was like, maybe that stuff is actually good. Went out and tried it, and yeah, it really works. It really does fucking work. Like, I bet I could like cut a boat and put it back together with flex tape if I had enough, but whatever. Zogfilla, you know us. We met recently. I think I remember. I'm trying to. How recently? Was I still in Texas? Um, Bluntula says, hell yeah. Logan the Lobotomizer says, that's an awesome mask. Thank you. Big ass boat. Oh shit, you were on the boat trip. Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. Um, Bluntula, I sent my version to you when you get a chance. I hope you like it. Awesome. Thank you, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks. Omnium Shadow 24 says, I hope one day you can tour up north. Love to meet you in person. Yeah, me too, man. Like, it has been really tough getting into the tour space, mostly because in my personal life, especially when I lived out in Texas, it would always go down like in dire financial straits, and now I have to move again, year after year after year. I have to move from one place to another, and it was so fucking frustrating, like never having a place to actually like settle the fuck down, which is why we ended up moving to St. Louis, because like the rent out here is cheaper than it's getting in Texas, and um, we it just sucks out there now, man. Like back before back before the pandemic, it was tough to make a living and keep yourself afloat, but at least like the music scene was thriving and it made it worth it. Um, and but then the pandemic happened and messed that all up, and a lot of the venues are gone now. A lot of the bands that were around at the time aren't anymore. It Yeah, it just was tough to bounce back, and especially again with the problem of like I live here this year, I will have to move out next year and live in another place, and then the following year I'll have to move out of that place, and just when you're moving all the time, over and over and over and over, it it sets you back so far, because every time you move from one home to another, you're spending tons of money. And I don't have tons of money, but somehow I always have to like wrangle it all together and make it work. And in the last few times, it has been increasingly more and more difficult. And I'm hoping that here in St. Louis, we can just settle the fuck down for multiple years, not one or two. Like, actually just chill the fuck out and build our life here instead of having to like pick it up and replant my roots elsewhere, only to have to do it again not long after. Um, but yeah. Zogfilla says I'm very cryptic. That's for sure. I am too. Jester says, at your service, my lord. Thank you. This person with a name I can't pronounce because it is in a different language says, hello from Russia. Thanks again for your music. Thank you for being a fan of my music. Um, and hello from the United States. Grivachilla says, one of my impure wanted to pass along a question. What brand is your new guitar? The 8-string guitar is an Ibanez, which I pretty much exclusively play Ibanez as far as the instruments that I use on 13's music. I have a very trusty bass guitar and a very trusty 7-string guitar. That 7-string guitar survived a 5-time rollover van accident without being in a case and being on top of a pile of all of our equipment, like pretty much right up on the ceiling of the van that flipped. So I don't know how the fuck it survived, but it is a miracle instrument. as far as I'm concerned. I purchased it used at a guitar store and didn't realize that whoever had it before I did fucked with the wiring to make the outgoing signal much hotter, and that's where I'm able to get the that distortion tone from that you hear in 13's guitar parts is from this mutant of a guitar, and just the hotness that the outgoing signal on it uh, has going on. It was the coolest thing ever when I found out. I took it to a repair shop and they had trouble like fixing it up because of that. And I heard that and I was just like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, don't fix it. I can work with this." So, all right. Zogfrilla says moving is very expensive. Need a home base. That is absolutely true. So we had to pick up in Texas and bring home base here in St. Louis, Missouri. Um, and it's been tough. I haven't had a chance really to go out and get into the music scene because every good show that comes by, the day that it happens, I don't have the money to go. It really fucking sucks how often I am gate kept out of music because of money. Um, and like 13's music makes a little bit of money, but I really don't want to rely on it for sole income. I really don't, because I worry that the moment I start dedicating my music um, towards financially supporting me, um, the oh, my phone's being stupid. Sorry. It like doesn't want to charge. It says it's too hot. That sucks. Probably because I'm streaming at the same time. Whatever. So yeah, when I fear that if I start dedicating my music towards financially supporting me, that um, it will make creating the music no longer a special thing, because putting my heart into it won't even be necessary anymore. I would just have to put something out there every 28 days or so. Um, it wouldn't even fucking matter what it is, and that's not what 13 is about. Like everything musically that I do is very meticulously planned out and carried out, or completely freeform and ad-libbed and improved. It's one or the other. It's never in between. All right, what else we got? Um, especially as they jack up the rent here. Especially as they jack up the rent here. Oh my fucking god, Austin is hell. That is, yeah, absolutely. And it's been getting worse. Like, you know, not even talking about like how poor the political climate out there is going, but just like they're raising the housing costs. They're refusing to raise wages. They're um, they're punishing people for trying to travel out of state because uh, they need to get like abortions or operations in another state because they've made it illegal to do so there, and they'll punish you if you have to leave the state to go do it. It's fucked up. It's like some people, this is life-threatening medical care that they're seeking out, and Texas is like, no, you can just die. Texas truly believes that the people who live in Texas can just die. They don't care. That's why when the fucking like ice apocalypse that happened in 2021, that I had to, you know, I was living in Austin when this happened. Like the entire place just froze over, and the power grid in Texas does not have. It's not equipped for that. Like they don't account for snow. So what happens when a place that doesn't account for snow is suddenly met with a third ice age or a second ice age? I don't know how many we've had at this point. You know, it's And you know, the leaders of the state were just like, whatever, fuck y'all, die in the snow for all we care. They were literally talking about weeding out the weak. Like, people lost their power and had to like fend for themselves. Like we would go, we didn't have access to water, we didn't have electricity, we would have to like figure this shit out on our own. And going to gas stations and stuff to find water, and pretty much everything has been bought up, has been taken. We actually only managed to get water because nobody had taken all of the cans of liquid death that they had at the 7-Eleven because nobody knew that that was water. So we just bought a shit ton of liquid death, and we were set. Um, so yeah, but that's like, we had to like get into survival mode to fucking get through that shit, and the people in charge of the state of Texas were laughing the whole time at people just trying to fucking survive. You know, Ted Cruz took a trip to Cancun the day of, motherfucker. But yeah, fuck Texas. Um, Semi Crustaceo said, "Hi Zeke, could you spoil us one song uh, from the Lost Souls album?" I was debating on whether or not I wanted to do that this stream, and you know, give me a few minutes and we'll see how I feel. I do feel like showing off a little bit of what I got going on, but also a lot of what I have is not fully mixed. So um, if I do play something, bear that in mind. Omnium Shadow 24 says, "I know how you feel. I do side work that's plumbing, and the wages changed during after the pandemic. Today, time is shit." Yeah, totally. It sucks, man. And a lot of how the pandemic fucked us up had more to do with like people's reaction to having to bunker down for a couple weeks. It only needed to be a couple weeks, and we ended up extending it to like 2-3 years. It was ridiculous, and it's all because people wanted to be selfish and demanding and refusing to let the capitalism machine take a short pause break while we figure our shit out. Like, that's the only reason we all had to suffer that long. Um, Fuck, my phone's gonna die in the middle of this stream probably. It sucks. Zog Frilla says, "I'll shoot you a message about the computer stuff. Have a sick stream, bro. The captain says hi." Hell yeah. I'll talk to y'all later. Logan the Lobotomizer says, "I wouldn't want to live down south." Yeah, I never thought in my life that I would live in the south until the year it was being decided that I would leave California and move to Austin. And it had a lot to do with like the status of where the band was going that I was in at the time, but it also had to do with my mom wanting to get like sell the house that we were living in California. So I, you know, I was pretty much met with like I got no choice. I gotta go wherever it is that I gotta go. So yeah, moved to Texas in 2013 and moved to Missouri 10 years later. Um, what did you think of Mexico on your last visit? I loved it. Um, Mexico is a really cool place. I wanted to see more of it. I definitely think someday in the future that I would like to plan a trip just to go out there. Has nothing to do with like um, has nothing to do with like going on a cruise or um, you know, there's no side baggage with it. You know, just going on a trip out there. You know, I want to revisit Honduras as well. Um, it was a really cool time. I liked it there. I would absolutely go back. I would also like to go back to play music for y'all. So, um, messages held for review. Grivachilla says, fuck the pandemic and other shit. I agree. I absolutely agree. Fareed says, I have a question. What is your mask made of? Latex? It is not latex. It is two plastic white masks. Earlier, someone asked the same question. You can get them at Party City. They're the same masks that the Jabberwockies wear. Um, they're just the plain white party masks. Jesser says, you would have warned to take some photos. Yeah, probably. Also, will you make some changes or variations of your mask someday, or will stay forever like it is now? So originally, I don't think I have any plans really to change up my mask too much. But originally, the idea was like my mask would stay the same, while other band members would have different faces every time. Um, and it has just gone down to the point where I think I'm better off just working alone. Um, like having the band members that I had before, like a lot of them, I, sharing that time with them, I'll always cherish it. And others that I've had band members who I am glad that I got to work with them, and I have had other band members who they couldn't have left any fucking sooner. Like, I it's gonna be a while before I can trust another bass player. I'll say that much. But um, Igor, I'll always love him. He's one of my best friends. Legion is he and I have been best friends since we were toddlers. So. Um, and he and I have worked a bit here and there outside of 13 before. Like um, I used to be the vocalist for his for one of his previous bands, Earth Dies, um, and that was cool. But I had to leave because I couldn't take being in two bands anymore. Um, and since that time, last year we did an EP and then an album under a joke band called Quarf, and we have an album titled Straight Out of My Butt. That is the name of the album. If you like ridiculous, just terrible, shitty, like, it's the grindcore of deathcore, basically. Like, it's funny music. We've got all kinds of silly songs like "Don't Pee," "Punch You in the Nuts," "Stab You in the Face," Jamiroquai's "Blowhole." That's a song. Um, there's just a lot of great hits. "Butt Stuff." That's a song. Um, it's mostly Dylan Legion writing writing these songs, but like I helped produce them and I've done some vocals on those songs as well. It was just a fun time. I enjoy writing some silly stuff every now and then. It wouldn't fit for 13, but it definitely does for Quarf. So I'm glad that's a project that we've done. All right. Probably you don't remember this, but I'm the guy who made a. Yeah, Semi Crustaceo. Yeah, I definitely remember because I mean we chill on Facebook from time to time. So like yeah, I've seen the meme. I've seen you sending me memes. Grivachilla says, agree about masks with you. A lot of changes with it. Looks sometimes strange. Yeah, and like the mask has changed subtly throughout the years because I've gotten, new cracks in it. I've gotten new battle damage from the pit, because I'll take the mask to shows, you know, I'll get in the pit, and like the mask actually is like really good like face protection. I actually I went to that Static X concert a year or two ago, um, and they didn't let me in with my mask, even though I've been to that venue before with a mask on, you know, practically for the same bands, and they had no problem with it then. Um, but for whatever reason, they wouldn't let me in, and I was pissed, but they had me checking in at bag check, and I went into the show, and I was in a shitty mood over that. And at some point during the show, some motherfucker threw like a mostly full beer can into the air, and it landed right the fuck on my forehead. Like I got hit in the face. I got a big old fucking bump on my head, all because this venue over their security policy. Oh, we don't want you wearing a mask because you know it's gonna scare people. It's a security issue. Like, what about my security that I don't get hit in the fucking head? Like, I got hurt because of that, because they wouldn't let me walk in with my mask. So fuck that place. The Aztec Theater in San Antonio, fuck them. Like, it's bullshit, man. Like, I pose no threat. Like, I even offer anytime I go into a show and I have the mask on, like I offer to like show them my face, take the thing off, show my ID, show that it's the same face as on my ID, so that they know who I am. They can identify me. I'll be as cooperative as possible, um, because all I want to do is go into the show and enjoy the show, and I like enjoying the show in the way I like to present, which is how you see me now. Um, Logan the Lobotomizer said, "What an album called Broom Up Your Butt." I feel like that's got to be an album or something already. Um, Musiccore sent me something in a language I can't read. If you can, if you can find a way to translate what you've commented, I will read it and respond to it. Apologies, I wish I could read it. It looks like it's in Russian or some kind of, I don't know which language, but I would assume Russian or something, um, or Ukrainian. Omnium Shadow 24 says, "Not any better. I want to leave New Jersey." By the way, Ivory Tower reminded me a lot of when I had alcohol poisoning due to a heartbreak from being put through a love triangle by a girl in New York, and I woke up in the ER. Goddamn. Alcohol poisoning is no joke, man. Like, I I used to drink a lot more than I do, and nowadays, like, I don't really like to do it as much. I drank a lot more on this recent this recent vacation I went on, because it was just available. Like pretty much everything was taken care of, and they were just throwing drinks at me, and like you know it it was difficult to keep up with, like, because I'm older now. It's harder to like have the stamina to keep drinking, um, like all day every day like I was on that trip. The last couple days of it, like I was like I can't drink no more. Um, I do enjoy a little smoke though. That's one cool thing about St. Louis, or one cool thing about Missouri is it's a legal state here. Um, which part of the plan moving out here was that I could find a job at a dispensary, um, which I'm still kind of working on. It's tough because I work a lot and I do music stuff a lot and I play video games a lot. So, um, yeah. Eventually, someday, during the time that I'm living out here, I'll get a job at a dispensary or something. There's like a D&D shop nearby that I want to work at, but they haven't. They just hired a guy and they're waiting till seasonal time to hire a new guy. So whatever. Um, Oh yeah, but you said Ivory Tower reminded you. of what you went through, and I'm glad that I had a song that could contextualize your pain and your traumas. Um, I I'm glad when people can take something that I've written and use it as something positive in their life. Um, I think that's the coolest thing in the world. Um, Semi Crustaceo says, you can be part of gentrification here in Mexico, dude. A lot of Americans come here with with dollars that convert into pesos. Yeah, I I thought I thought I was learning about kind of like the conversion of pesos to American dollars. While I was out there, like, uh, it's funny. Like I was buying like a $6 drink, and the receipt said 90. It was like, what the fuck? But then I remembered like, oh, it's 90 pesos. That comes out to like roughly $6. I had a mini panic attack because I forgot we were counting in pesos. Um, but yeah, man, I like Mexico a lot. I want to go back, and I want to take pictures on some Mayan ruins um, in my mask. Um, People would piss themselves over a mask. Yeah, it happened a lot. Like, um, like some shows, like even before the pandemic, there were shows that I would go to where they were tightening security. Like security was tightening a grip on like who could come in or go out, and places that used to let me in looking like this, no problem, started being like, hey, you can't come in here with that mask on. And it's like, bro, I've been here with that mask on. You didn't have a problem with it then. Um, Hell, I've even been let into shows for free because they saw me looking like this and they were like, you look sick as fuck. You want to go into this show? Like, but yeah, there was also like I remember early on when I started wearing the mask, going to Sixth Street, like trying to bar hop as this, establishing myself as a local cryptid. And there were plenty of places that were like, you can't come in here looking like that. It's not allowed. You're fucking up the vibe for everybody here. And it's like, y'all are too uptight. Like there I get so many like there were always so many people who would come up to me and just take pictures with me. Like people get excited when they see me looking like this. And y'all are worried that people will dance slightly enthusiastically while they're drunk at your bar because they see somebody looking like this. Come on now. Stop babying these grown adults. That's what I gotta say about it. Kazmodan says, are you a Christian? Alright. I I regret to disappoint you if you were hoping that I was a Christian. I'm not. I'm actually quite anti religious. In my lyrics, I, I've wrestled with, moments in my past where, you know, religious people would try to influence me and try to get in my head. And I would deny it because I recognize what manipulation tactics look like. And I'm not saying all religious people do this. I would never infer that. But most of the religious people who confronted me on that subject, well, I can tell they were using, manipulation slash abuse tactics to get me to buy in. And I just don't stand for that. I view organized religion as a terrible evil, and a lot of my art is in direct opposition to it. Um, I don't consider myself like a Satanist. I don't consider myself any religion really. I'm pretty atheistic. Um, that said, like I've been told that my personal values are shared with like the Church of Satan, and it's like that's fine. Like I have beliefs that I share with Christians, but I'm not Christian. And those beliefs aren't in a God or anything like that. They're more about like, how you should treat other people. Which I thought was like the whole purpose of religion, right? To like teach you good morals, to teach you like how to treat the people in your life that you love, how to be a good person to others. But so many people take it and they use it as sort of a shield from criticism from the bad that they do. And I don't stand for that personally. So I hope you're not offended, but I'm not a Christian. And no, listen, I've given it a shot, and I just can't bring myself to do it. Um, I've I've tried listening to people's uh, arguments for convincing me. I just can't, man. I get along way better with people who are considered blasphemous. Um, Gruvachilla says, I can translate, buddy. Friend, you are very cool. Keep on making music. Awesome. Thank you, Gruvachilla, for translating, and thank you to that was Musicor. Thank you um, for the encouragement and for your fandom. Who do you think will win, Donald Duck or Iron Man? There's a very real possibility we could experience that in Kingdom Hearts 4. um, so I recently played through all the Kingdom Hearts games, and um, they're all great fun and extremely frustrating. Very confusing storyline, but I thrive on that shit. And yeah, so who would win, Donald Duck or Iron Man? If you had asked me that before I played Kingdom Hearts 3, I would tell you Iron Man. Sorry, people are texting me and I'm trying to get them to stop. Okay. Before I played Kingdom Hearts 3, I would have said Iron Man. But after playing Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm going to say Donald Duck because in that game they established that Donald Duck is one of the very, very few magic users within the Square Enix / Final Fantasy universe who can use the spell Zeta Flare, which is the most powerful offensive magic that you can use in any Final Fantasy game. There's only like a handful of magic users in that canon who can use that spell. So, and Donald Duck is one of them. We find out in Kingdom Hearts 3. So I would say, yeah, if Donald Duck has the Zeta Flare spell, Iron Man's pretty fucked. But if not, Donald's going down. Especially because he's fucking terrible at healing the rest of the party. Like, yeah, you know what? Actually, playing any Kingdom Hearts game, anyone against Donald Duck, I'm gonna say Donald Duck will lose because he dies every time. Every battle, he's the first one to die. So, Semi Crustaceo says, in Mexico, if you hear a dude saying, I'm not gonna try pronouncing that, you are very cool, man, or you're very cooked. Oh, you're very cooked, man. Probably you get your phone stolen. Okay, well, I'll try to remember that. I'm not sure what it means, but it sounds threatening. Star 777 says, I feel like what stops me from dying is that I always get hyped with your new albums you make per year. Crazy how they make me feel so alive again. Thank you, Zeke. Thank you for listening. I'm glad that my music can help you through your life. That is the most important thing to me, is that my music helps other people. Jennifer Hammerly says, did y'all make it to Emo's Pizza or Amagetti's at Zeke. How is STL treating y'all? We like it here a lot. I've had Emo's Pizza and it's pretty good. Um, I was expecting a lot more. Nah, I'm not gonna try and make that joke. I tried to find a way to make Emo's Pizza about like emo music, but whatever. Low hanging fruit. Envious X420X says, I don't really know what to add to this conversation, but I wanted to say I love the music. Thank you. We love that you love the music. Omnium Shadow 24. Wow, I'm probably way behind on all these. They said, hopefully the dispensary works out for you. I worked in one. Too many backstabbers and promiscuous women that flirted too much. For me, gym, pot, cars, video games, concerts, camping, and shooting range. Yeah, I mean, I worked at a smoke shop. I worked at a couple smoke shops in Texas, and though like weed isn't legal there, like they still got smoke shops. And it was there were things I really loved about the job and things I really hated about the job. But I feel like the things that I hated about the job had way more to do with like corporate retail culture than anything. Um, Envious says, "Y'all are awesome. Thank you." I Ieb, if you could, would you add a DJ turntablist to 13? Um, I've thought about doing that before, um, and like I'd be down to having someone like work the computer, work the backing tracks, the sampling, like work like doing effects for like the other instruments and stuff. Like I'd be down for that, but we once again run into the issue of like working with other people. Like I've tried so many times before to include other band members, and there just isn't anyone with the same eyes on the same vision that I have. And a lot of times, like the people that I've brought in to work with, you know, they feel the need to take a step back because I've taken such a creative lead. Um, and I don't with that particular reason, it's difficult to expect someone else to come in and like get behind this vision as seriously because they there's not enough space for them to do as much as I am, and that is unfortunately, you know, by design. Like this band is supposed to be my personal creative project, and I've brought in other band members um, specifically to perform the songs live. Like they're not in the room with me when I'm recording them or writing them, not often anyway, and uh, you know when we're at practice, that's when I'm bringing them the material that they will then play live. And I've every band member that I've had in 13, I've told them this is how we're doing it. This is what we're doing. I was very clear that this is definitely a solo project, and I just need help for live and for music videos and to, you know, because having multiple people in a band makes them look more interesting, I guess. Like it's difficult being a solo artist because I know what like artistically what I'm doing, but it's difficult to get people to be on board with that when they see me by myself. You know, I wonder if they'd see that and they're like, well, he's got no friends, so why should I pay attention if nobody likes him? Um, oh, so to answer your question, maybe. Um, about adding a DJ turntable to the band. I don't really have a whole lot of parts for that though. It would be more like running samples. So if Craig Jones asked to be in the band, immediately yes. Um, Grivachella says, hopefully someday I can run in a slam under Deception. Dope. Hell yeah. Just love this song too much. I love that song. It actually was. It used to be performed by a previous band of mine that wasn't 13, But I moved it over to that project because that was a harder, faster sort of thing going at the time, and I was under the impression that 13 wasn't going to get any play, so I might as well bring those songs over here. And then I ended up regretting that after I did it because 13 is a particular special thing to me, and I needed those songs back, so we stopped playing them in that band and just kind of sat on them for a while until I can bring them back under 13. And there are more songs from that same project that are going to have a similar sort of story. Um, Semi Crustaceo says, "When OnlyFans Zeke, I could say many guys will hate it." Um, it's difficult, right? Because I have considered here and there, like, because I don't got a whole lot of income, y'all. So it's like, could sell my ass on OnlyFans, whatever. Will that work? I I would just need to find my niche, but I also, you know, I wonder if there are other things I could try before I go down that route. Um, who knows? But I also no OnlyFans plans at the current moment. Um, I'm also unsure how open I should be about that. You know, like we're here to talk about me with my mask on, not me with nothing on. I hate retail. I'd never do it again. Same. I definitely like. Oh, Jennifer Hammerly said I definitely liked the guitar player from the Blood on the Wall video. Yeah, that's Igor 64. He was my right hand man for a long time. He played guitar live for all of the albums from Sick to Black Ghost. So Legion was our guitarist for during the Asylum record cycle, and um, he got to be the guitarist in the Daddy Longlegs music video. And then sometime towards the end of 2018, after each of the band members that I had, like, one left, and then the next one, and then the next one, I had to do the album release show of Sick by myself for the most part. Um, and it was after that Igor joined the band. Um, and yeah, he's a great guitar player. He's really good at learning the stuff that I would write without uh, without me having to show him first. Like he could figure it out on his own and then come to practice and basically almost have it down, just a couple things here and there to sort out, and then he's got it. He's a great guitar player and one of my best friends. And if he's out there listening, fucking love you, bro. I hope you're doing all right. He recently moved to out of Texas, and from what I can tell, he seems to be doing a lot better now. Um, Iab, I don't know how your name is pronounced. I love the more extreme parts in Songs of 13. I think with more influence from, say, death new metal, with bands like As Ashes Fall, Tribura, Leech Seed, etc., I think 13 would benefit great. Yeah, I haven't heard of any of those bands really. I like death metal and black metal and like some grind, some slam, and I also like metalcore, deathcore. Um, like I just like brutal, heavy shit. But I also like groove and melodies and stuff like that, and like cool electronic sort of stuff, and that's where like you get a lot of that in the new metal scene. Um, but yeah, if there are bands out there like mixing black metal and death metal with new metal, that's pretty cool. I didn't know if that was quite a thing. What would be your least liked song you recorded? Like the song that I've recorded that I like the least? Huh. Um, trying to think. Out of all the songs I've put out there, which one do I like the least? Uh, not too sure about that because it's tough. I like all of my songs pretty much. Yeah, I'm having a tough time with that one. I can think of songs that I've written for 13 that I didn't like, but I ended up not putting those up. So, you know, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to answer that one. Um, now I'm just trying to think. What songs do I have that are overplayed? Uh, yeah, no, can't think of one. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put the song out there if I didn't like it. That's the thing. Is like, yeah. So like picking my least favorite of my songs would be like, picking which song that I love but love the least amount. So, yeah. Sorry, I can't answer that one really. Joshua Weber says, "Fallen Angel is my number one favorite song from you. I love how slow it is. Hell yeah, I like that song a lot. I That's one of the oldest ones too, from back when I was in high school. Um, I remember I remember being in, like my second relationship ever, um, but also having a crush on one of my friends at the same time, and it's like I have feelings for both of you, but I know I shouldn't, and this feels fucked up and disgusting, and I feel disgusting. And that song was, you know, like therapy for that because it was just me freaking out about how fucked up of a person I thought I was. Um, and how, like, there must be something wrong with my heart if it can be drawn in two directions. Because that was the way I saw it back then. Like, I was very angry at myself. Um, at that time. I still am often very angry at myself, but obviously for different reasons than that. MVS says, "Is there a reason you chose 13 for the name of the band or any other number?" So in before I started the band, and as I was getting way into metal music, I fuck, the stream might die because I'm on 1% power. Okay, I'll make this quick, but then the stream might die. I start before the band started. I went to a place called the Winchester Mystery House, and this is the house of the Winchester rifle family, and everything in the house is in 13s. There are 13 steps on the stairs, 13 doors in the hallway, 13 windows in the room, all that stuff. And I thought it was so creepy and weird that I was like, I need to name my band 13. It's kind of like a magic number. Um, and yeah, that was pretty much where that came from. Um, I see Travis Fuller's there. I love you too, dude. Jennifer says, I heard Clown Girls do well on OnlyFans. Sammy Crustaceo says, also, yeah, that's true. If you had to rank your last three albums from most difficult to record to the easiest, what would it be like? Um, the further back you go, the easier it was. Every new album is harder than the last one, pretty much. Um, Travis Fuller says Sleep Token, EP, track album, the song's not released. I don't know much about Sleep Token. I haven't heard their album, but I think they're all right.